weirdness is nothing compared to what so many people are experiencing. So
It's very true.
It's an adjustment. It's bizarre, trying to figure out how to stay safe, kind of move back into life. I don't know, like we're going back on Blackish and it's so bizarre.
When do you go back?
We had our first table read, and we're sort of trickling in sort of small ways, but I think we're actually officially back in production on the 24th.
How bizarre. I mean, it shouldn't be bizarre. You're going back into production. That's work.
It's bizarre. And what they've done, they've really, all of these productions, they, with SAG, have figured out like a whole new scenario for protocols of safety that, like, for example, next week, I believe I go to get the walkthrough of some of the, there's a pathway for walking. There's like all these different things. Yeah. No congregating, there's like, I think there's no sides on set, no paper of any kind, no passing of pens, highlight, like none of that exists. So no eating or drinking on set. These are some of the things I've heard. I haven't even gotten the official walkthrough. I don't know. I'm game. I feel really blessed to be able to go back on the show. But what that looks like, I have no idea. And let me tell you something. I haven't even been to the market since March. So I haven't left my house. So we'll see how this goes. People, I'm going to be like, oh, look at you, a real person. Get away from me.
Did you do the table read virtually or did you do it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tracee Ellis Ross, how are you?
I'm great. I'm happy to see you. You look wonderful and dapper.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I got to do it at least for Zoom too. I got to feel, I'm wearing shorts, but
listen, I have no shoes on, but I've definitely put on some lipstick. Let me tell you something. Nobody gets mascara, but you do get an eyebrow and a lip.
Okay, fourth Emmy nomination. Hello? Does it ever get old?
No! Are you kidding me? No! So exciting. I will tell you, though, that it was not on my radar at all. I literally did not even know it was happening that morning. So when I turned my phone on, I was like, what is going on? This is terrifying. And then it was like, I was like, for what? For what? I had no idea.
You had no idea.
My attention is on other things like my laundry and changing my sheets and mopping my floor and Swiffering and
the Swiffing. The Swiffering.
I mean, I like things like I like things. I like everything just so. And that requires a lot of attention. And I'll be honest with you, I love this part of my life. I never get to do it. So the cooking, the cleaning, being tethered to my own experience is, I'm usually like running through the house, like scarfing food down while I'm doing 17 other things. So it's good.
Yeah. So you don't get used to it. Fourth Emmy nomination.
My daughter was not lit properly in the class photo, and someone decided to print it anyway.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fight.
You said, you're getting texts, people are calling you, and are they like, you didn't know?
No, I didn't know. Well, I wasn't nominated last year, so I just assumed 3 nominations was great. I'm good. You know what I mean? I won a Golden Globe. I'm like, all right, what do we dream of now? Something else. I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I would really like to win an Emmy, but more than that, I would really like people to vote in the general election and get informed. But that's besides the point. I would love to win, and I love being nominated. It's exceptional. But when I wasn't last year, I just thought I wouldn't be again this year. I don't know.
Why do you think you get it this year?
I don't know. Because, you know why? Because I think my performances were off the charts. I reached into people's hearts right through their televisions, and I was like, hello, remember me? Hello, remember me? That's what happened.
I feel like that was just an audition for when Broadway comes back.
I don't know what that was, but that's what happened. Clearly, Bo Johnson, staked right in there.
How great is it when you look at the show? Obviously, it's a sitcom. It's funny. You have the serious stuff. The Juneteenth episode, I interviewed Kenya, and he told me that it was ABC's idea to re-air it.
It's very, very cool. I think what it does, and it's so interesting to me because it really shows the impact that television has, especially when you have people that are willing to tell stories that match the lives that we're all living, not tell stories that have been told before, but instead really lean into untold storytelling. And I feel like Blackish has done that from the beginning. And particularly now in this pandemic and in the new wave of racial reckoning that's happening in such a public way, not to say that it went away, but I think people have the ability to kind of look back at episodes of Blackish and realize like we've been telling these stories and utilize television as a bridge, as a way to kind of connect the dots of humanity where people can see and understand in different ways. And I think we've been doing that on Blackish, and then particularly now, it becomes glaringly obvious and clear how important television is as we make our way through some of these things.
So will the pandemic be a part of the new season?
I don't know, but what I do know, I can't tell you. I mean,
I gotta ask.
Yeah, of course you do. I'm not totally sure how we're going to weave it in, but Bo Johnson is a doctor.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things happening in our world that Blackish always takes a look at. So I can't imagine that we wouldn't now. We did our first 2 table reads, and we'll see what sort of evolves from there.
What was it like doing a table read on Zoom?
So I was really worried, actually. I was worried because our table reads are notorious. Like our group is like, we have really fun, hilarious table reads. Testament to the writers, testament to the chemistry. Like it's special. And so I was worried that like that was going to rob us of the thing that makes, starts the beginning of each episode in such a magic and special way. And it gives you this sort of vision. It was great, is all I can say. Our chemistry translates through the Zoom. The writing was translating through the Zoom. And I think that's one of the things that I will say from a personal standpoint, I'm really grateful to be going back to work on a show that I've been on for this long with people that I feel safe with, that I trust. It feels like going back to your family. So even if you separate us a little bit more, even if you can only connect us through a Zoom or whatever that is, there's enough history here that we can find that anyway. And so I don't feel as worried as I did before the table read. I feel like we'll be able to figure this out.
How worried are you about Hollywood bouncing back? I mean, it's serious economic consequences.
I'm worried about our country bouncing back. Yeah. I mean, there are many more people in Hollywood and in this industry than just the actors and producers. There are people whose, lives, everybody's lives have been affected, but clearly in a very deep and impactful way. I worry about everybody, the unemployment disproportionately is affecting people of color and women. Those that are in essential jobs are mostly disproportionately women and people of color. And I don't know, it'll be interesting. I can't really say because we haven't gone back to work, but I'm really curious what happens. Can we do as many episodes? Can you get as much done in a day? Can you, all of those kinds of things. Do all departments still have the same amount of people? Is everybody these are questions I have that will be really interesting to kind of walk through.
Yeah, I think sets it's just not going to be as many people. That's how the virus, transmits. So it's like you lessen the people, you lessen the touch points, and
somebody loses a job here, but then maybe certain departments gain, like the PAs and people that can kind of move up into the industry. Actually, maybe there's more of them because they have to sort of be separated in different places. I don't know, but I think all of us, it's frustrating because you feel like this could have been handled so much better.
Literally, that's what I just said to my husband. Because the news just came out that Warner Brothers let go of 800 people.
Oh, it's really,
It didn't have to be that way.
No, it did not. It really didn't. And I mean, obviously, I'm not an epidemiologist. I'm not a governor. I'm not a mayor. I don't know the machinations and the specificity of what needs to be done and how, but any normal person can look at this and go, this is a mess. Like, what is happening here? Like, if you were just looking at it like a family and a parent, you're like, that parent has fallen down on the job. That parent is messing up, people. Everybody's suffering because of that one parent. Like you're just like, come on. It's really, so that's upsetting. And I'm like, and this is it to me. It's like, this is not a party thing. This is not a political thing. This is a human thing. We're humans. And everybody, same thing with masks, all that. But, that's besides the point. And that's not the, whatever. Right. But I hate that it's so upsetting what this is really doing to people. And how it's affecting lives. And it breaks my heart. And I wish there was more I could do to help.
So how does the town balance? Here's the Emmys, they'll be virtual, but how do you celebrate all that while all of this is going on?
Well, I think part of what all of us have learned is you need to cherish the special moments, cherish the joyful moments, look for the joyful moments, because the darkness is waiting for you. It's not going anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, it's everywhere. To me, though, it's exciting, but I'm not going to lie. Getting people to vote for the general election, making sure people are registered, getting people to fill out their making sure that people feel engaged and participatory in being an American citizen at this moment, being civically engaged, all of those kinds of things. And if the Emmys ends up being an opportunity for all of us to keep that messaging going, then whoopee, it's fantastic. And don't think from this couch, I'm not going to put on a gown.
Well, that was my next question. What are you going to do?
I mean, I don't know, but it's going to be something. There might be a red carpet out on the street in front of my house, but I'm not letting a fancy moment go by. I might not put on high heels because I'd be happy to maybe never put them on again. I don't need an evening bag. It was so funny. I looked in my closet the other day. I was like, interesting. Evening bags. What is that for? I haven't even used a purse in ages. Like, what?
Oh, please, I've gotten to the point where I go on Amazon and you know what my search says? Elastic waistbands.
Exactly. Let me tell you something. I put on a pair of jeans the other day and I was like, what are these for? This is stupid. These hurt. I was like, they're so tight. What is this for? I can't even get up and down, sit down. I sit down. I have little creases on my legs. I was like, this is silly. This is ridiculous. Anything that needs to be dry cleaned, what's the point? But I'm not gonna miss a moment of, I can put on a real pretty dress. I'll do my own hair and makeup like I've been doing. But again, that's another thing, like hair and makeup people.
Yeah, stylists.
Like, there's so many places, things, jobs that make this whole thing work, that it's just, and what's the thing? What are we trying to make work? And what's the priority? And so, without being out of touch, you want to be connected to the reality of what's happening and also be able to appreciate the very special moments that come up. I mean, I'm so touched, and it's such a treat and such a sweet thing to be recognized for your work. What a lovely thing.
So let's talk about the competition.
Because
it is a competition.
The end of the day, it is. That's right.
Christina Applegate, Rachel Brosnahan, Linda Cardellini, Catherine O'Hara.
Okay, let's talk about Catherine. And then what? And then Issa. Okay. So Issa and I are friends. If she wins, I win. We're good. I'm good. I'm like, but I'll tell you anything. Listen, any of these women, if they win, all right? Any of these women. Christina Applegate is one of my shining stars that I look at. The longevity of her career, the specificity of her career, the mastery that she uses with grounded humor that is like the facial expressions, like it's beyond. You know what I mean? Linda, I could watch her forever. I watch that show and I just sit there looking at their faces. I just look at their faces. I look at their faces. Catherine O'Hara, like, I don't even know what to say there. I mean,
it's just.
Are there words? I don't think there are words.
No.
there's no words. But I mean, we could go on. Rachel, like, you know, Issa, what I will say is it's such a testament, and there's so many more, by the way. There's so many other women that could be nominated as well. And it is an honor just to be nominated. I feel tickled and buoyed by the company. And not only the company in the category this year, but the legacy of nominees. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is what you call some good stuff. So I feel honored, and I still want to win.
You know what? I'm glad you said that, because that's what you got to say. The fact is, it's an honor to be nominated, but it's even better to win. Period. The end.
Come on.
And what a great year for people of color with the Emmys.
Yeah, you know, it's about time. I don't know what the hell's been happening. It's ridiculous. This is like a joke to me, but that's besides the point. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's a great year, and I'm really sick of 2020 and this, you know, at this point in our lives and in the legacy of America, that we're still saying it's a great year for people of color. It's like, oh, come on. What are you guys doing? This is ridiculous. It's just the same, you know, there's a, come on, people, look around. Look what our world looks like. Let's make this happen. It's the same thing. You know, when I won the Golden Globe, that's what I said. For women, women of color and people of color, colorful people who are out here living lives and experiences and being extraordinary all over the place. It would be nice if we could keep filling up our worlds with so that they match what it actually looks like.
So let's talk about your Instagram. 8.9 million followers. Don't even tell me you don't look at the numbers.
No, are you kidding me? Not only do I look at the numbers, but you know what I call them when you get a post that has high numbers? I call them high rollers. I'm like, God, I love a high roller. I love a high roller. I don't like those low rollers.
What do you want to do with your Instagram? Because you have your fun stuff, you have your workout, you have your politics. It's just, I feel like it's not, which I like, it's not so curated. You look at other famous people.
It's the Tracee magazine.
Right.
I do it myself. I have one gal that helps me because I'm useless with certain things, like finding someone's handle. I have such a tendency to tag the wrong people to the point that I was like, I need to stop. Like, let me just. So, or you can tell when I have it's all me. Like, I make the videos, I edit it on my phone. I'm like the crazy lady who's like, you know, like, I'm like, oh, what if I said, like, my favorite, I'm still tickled by my caption, my bathing suit picture. I'm still tickled by that caption. I said pool party, but I don't have a pool. I'm too scared to have a party. I thought that was so funny. I tickled myself.
Okay, by the way, Google Tracee Ellis Ross right now. Every headline is Tracee stuns in bikini. Look at Tracee's bikini. Tracee in a bikini. Tracee in a bikini.
Let me tell you something. There is nothing like a good angle and a nice inhale, because the outtakes were a little different. But you know what I mean? You get those arms up, you stretch this out, you cross that leg, you pull that across, and then and oh my God, your 47-year-old Tracee looks like, boom!
And then you're like,
Exactly. The edit was so funny. Like, this one, no, this one, no, this one, no, this one, no, this one, this one.
I know, last night, one of our dogs is like laying in my lap, and my husband looks over, he goes, oh my God. And he picks up his phone. I'm like, oh no, you're not. My stomach, like no shirt. I'm like, no. No, there's no lighting that's going to make that look good.
Yeah, see, you know, that's the whole beauty of it. My Instagram is a Tracee magazine. It's like, it's a reflection of my world.
It's your brain. It's your brain.
Yeah, it's a combination of my brain and my heart.
So we got to talk about singing.
Oh, please, would ya?
That voice.
Oy, 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 oy. Who knew? Not even me.
I mean, it makes sense.
I mean, it could also not make sense, I could also be awful and be like, ugh. I mean, what a treat at this age to like really find something that I've always wanted to do and be like, oh, not so bad. That's okay. I could do that.
Were you nervous to do it because of your mom, who your mom is?
Listen to me. I was terrified.
Yeah.
Both because of who my mom is and the threat of comparison. We live in a cancel culture. So, people are real quick to decide you suck.
Nasty, yeah.
Yeah. And also because I don't know about you, but the older you get, the more aware of the risks you are. And the longer you wait to do something, the scarier it gets. Yeah. And so, it's like when you're a kid, it's not so scary to fall when you learn how to ski. But when you're an adult, like, you're like, I know what's down there and I know what it can hurt. Like, I have enough experience with hurt. So I was terrified, but it was so worth it. It was so worth walking through the fear and towards a dream. And I felt complete freedom and liberation on the other side. I'm so grateful I took the leap.
So do you call your mom and say, by the way, like, I've seen you've gone on stage with her and you've done your thing, but this is other level.
His other level. I know I told her I got a movie I really wanted over Thanksgiving, the Thanksgiving before I got the role. She said something else about me singing because she's always like, she knew I wanted to sing. So she's always like, I think you should record an album now. She said it when I was 22 and I was like, okay, Mom. But over Thanksgiving, she said it again. Like after we did the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, she was like, I'm just telling you, I can hear you singing when we're out there on the float. I could hear you. I think it might be time. I was like, you know what, Mom? All I can say is if I get this role that I really want, that I'm not going to say anything else about, that might happen. And then when I got it, then I told her I got it, but I don't know that I was specific about the singing. And then when I finally played them for her, and that was such a sweet experience.
What does that, okay, listen. I mean, obviously she's not my mother, because I can't imagine it. It's one thing to play, oh, Mom, I recorded a song. But your mom is Diana Ross. Yeah, so there's so many levels.
Yeah.
No?
No. I mean, yeah, but no. She's so my mom. I don't.
Right.
So there was nothing about it that was like I'm playing my songs for Diana Ross. I wasn't like I'm playing my songs for, Aretha Franklin. I was playing my songs for my mom. And my mom is also, to know my mom, like her kids can do no wrong. Like, I think that the fear for me is that she wouldn't be honest and she would just say it was great. I have to play it for other people because my mom will be like, it's incredible. I'm crying. Look at what you've done. And then I play it for the world and they're like, that's garbage. Like, what do you?
You're like, but Diana Ross said it was good.
Yeah. They're like, no, I think your mom told you it was good. So, but yeah, it was exciting. And I know she just felt so much pride because she's known how long I wanted to sing. I don't know if you've heard, but what she said, crying, tears down her face and mine, were holding hands in my car. And the first word that came out of her mouth was finally.
So are you going to pursue it more? Or is it
I would love to. The pandemic got things a little confused here. I would have loved to, in the promotion of the film, be out performing a little bit and stuff. I would love to record. I would love to see what kind of songs I choose. Those were all for the movie. But we'll see.
What kind of music do you want to record?
I have no idea. I mean, I do, but I don't know.
You do, but you don't.
But I don't. I don't know.
And who do you want to see on Blackish? Who's that dream guest? I know what Anthony Anderson always says.
What does he say? The Obamas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all would love them on. It would be nice to finish out our show at some point, like whenever the end is, that they're the end,
They're just standing there. The end credit.
It just feels like they like we should wait for that moment. I don't know. Who else would I love on the show? I don't know. I'm bad at that. I'm not good at casting.
And what do you think is going to happen in 2020 in November?
I think this is every election is incredibly important, especially for those. It is urgent always for those that are most vulnerable and that are the most affected by the inequity that is built into the fabric of this country. But we are in a very particularly urgent time right now. And this is not a time to stick your head in the sand. This is not a time to claim or to think that your vote doesn't matter. And we say it every year, but there is a genuine urgency to this. I think democracy is at stake. I think civilization as we know it, like the civility that we live in, and the agreements that we have around that kind of human civility is at stake. We are still, as a country, grappling with and reckoning with and walking towards a more equal and a just society that we have been doing. It is at the forefront and particularly urgent in the context of the presidency that we are under, the administration and how it's operating. So I just feel like this is really a moment for everybody. And it's not just you. It's like you need to grab those friends that don't think that it's urgent. And I need to grab those people that don't think it's urgent. And we all need to participate in whatever way we feel comfortable and continue to push our own comfort level in how we reach out and stay active.
When are you running for office?
I am not running for office. But it's not a joke. And and we can see it, this pandemic really pulled the curtain on what has always been true, which is that we are only as strong as our most vulnerable neighbor. But we really see the inequities of this country like glaring right now, with unemployment and also how people are affected by the disease, but like by the virus, whatever you call it, I don't know, this evil thing. So it's a really intense time. And I think the only thing that quells my fear and anxiety is when I stay active and I get informed. Those are the two things. When I sit back, it just makes me more scared.